May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am happy. I am happy.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day. Even though we have a little rain, that makes it even more beautiful in a lot of ways today. A little cooler, but there's some green showing up on the hills again. That's wonderful to hear. And a greening in our own soul that's being nurtured today and always. And we are nurtured today by Bodhi here. He's going to open us up with a little music.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Are we on? Yes, we are. Here we are. Great to see you. Great to be back in Napa. I think you guys know this by now. All that I am is God. All that I see and all that I hear, all that I feel is God. And all that I have, all that I do, all that I am is God. Got it. All that I see
Beautiful. Well, welcome everybody today. It's a beautiful day. As I mentioned, I'm Reverend Jay. I'm the minister here and spiritual leader. So glad to be here today. So glad all of you are here. Whether it's your first time or your first time in a while, or you've been here on a regular basis, I love to see everybody here. And I would like to invite you to greet each other, to introduce yourself, and just tell them you're glad to see them this morning. Good to have you here. So let's begin this morning by saying our vision and mission statement. If you'll look up on the screen, welcome those people online who can look on your screen there, maybe closer than our screen here. So we say together, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A glorious affirmation for today and always. Thank you for being a part of this vision and mission here at the center. A couple of announcements. I want to start with the idea of community engagement. To tell you the truth, the board and I don't need anybody to be engaged here, but it's part of the community. I think you get a lot out of it, and there is purpose in engagement. In both coming up, the visioning team that's starting in early December, you'll hear more about that later, and also the community engagement committee, which is one that kind of goes through upcoming events. It's kind of like the balloon test to see if you think that's going to fly here, or you might add something to it, value to it. So it's really important to be able to do that. And then we also have people that do miscellaneous volunteering here. Sanctuary renewal. Yesterday we had 7 people here doing little touch-up paint here and there. You'll see it without all those holes maybe on the side, the chairs left in it, nicks and dings. The bathrooms look better. The lobby looks better. So we so appreciate if, as I call your name, if you could stand up. D is on the first list. Harris is there. Kay, Susan is. I think Susan's not here. Mike Ward, Charlie Lee, Janet Taylor. I think that's all of you. Let's all give them a round of applause. So, what I found is together they did about 12 hours of work, and it only took an hour and a half. How about that? So that's what also happens, and people are going, "This was so fun. Let's do it again." I said, "I promise you we'll have another time." But it is fun to do things together and kind of connect with each other. So, and that's part of what volunteering is here at the center. So we're not out of need, but out of an opportunity for you to be a part of this community in a deeper way. I also wanted to say that our Napa food bag drive was 2 weeks ago, but since then we're continuing to have more contributions, and we've what's 5 times? I don't know, quintupled how much we usually give. So just saying our giving is still giving, and it's grateful to be a part of that. And part of that giving idea during the holidays, we're going to have a coat and glove drive. What you can do now is start saving those coats, because if you're like me, I have 8 coats in the closet, and I don't need all of them, with a special emphasis on things that could water resistant or waterproofing kind of jackets. But any kind of jackets are good to help keep people warm who might have worn out their jackets and unable to buy a new one. So save them up now, put them aside, and then this 3-week window we'll have the drive, and then we'll donate it to local, probably to Puerto Abiertas, but we're still talking with them about that. So hang on to those coats. Then today, really fun, is the sound journey that Bodhi's doing. He's going to lead us in meditation here in a bit. And I will say, I've been to Bodhi's sound journeys before, and I thought they were good. But the last time I scheduled it where I had something that conflicted with it, but I was here at the beginning of it, and I'm going, what changed? He has up-leveled this thing. And also, you said this is like your 4th day in a row. So he's like of different communities he's been to. So it's like he's already in the flow. So join us, please. So please join us here at 1 o'clock. There's going to be a break between service and when we start at 1 because he's got to do a setup. We'll still have prayers with the practitioners in the back of the sanctuary, and then we'll get started. So a chance to get something to eat or whatever you need, and may be here at 1. And then we're doing something interesting for the Healing Circle this month that we do the first or second Saturday. Because November 1st is on, did people get handouts as they came in? Okay, good, because that'll give you the information. Because November 1st is the Mexican celebration of the Day of the Dead, we're going to spend some time during the Healing Circle for you to be able to share somebody or even a furry friend who's been influential in your life, who's given you great wisdom and a gift of inspiration, and share about that person. I know I have many in my life that have done that for me. So as a way of honoring that person who's passed on before you. So that's 9:30 here in the sanctuary, Saturday, November 1st. And then November 8th, there's a soul collage workshop in the morning, 9 to 1 with Ann House, called The Soul of Transformation. You can get more information. We have our information table in the lobby if you didn't notice it coming in, because we're concerned about rain that may or may not happen, but we just want to make sure that things don't get wet out there. And then we'll probably have snacks in the kitchen. Yep, okay, just in case. So, but that evening, probably more important, in my mind at least, is the annual appreciation dinner. And if you haven't signed up for that, please do that, because we need a number on how much food we have. It's the day we transformed this room into a big dining hall, so to speak. But we really want to thank you for all you've done for our community, for contributions, for engagement, for participation on any level, and even new people. If you're just new to the community, you're welcome to come and be a part of this. So hopefully you can do that. There's information to sign up outside as well as online to do that. And then just save the date. I know December seems a far way off. It's not even November, but December can get rather busy. So first of all, we're going to have a holiday decorating party like we usually do. All are welcome on Saturday. I don't have a time yet. Probably 9:30 or 10 we'll start. But just to save the date, and we'll be putting up trees and garlands and all that kind of stuff, and that'll be fun to do. It's kind of a fun way to kick off, to get in the mood for the holidays, past the commercialness. And then Thursday, December 18th, is our Wednesday solstice celebration and ritual. That'll be in the evening, and also the annual candle lighting service on Tuesday, December 23rd, almost always on December 23rd. I know it's odd to do it on a Tuesday, but that's when we'll be doing it, okay? And then please know that we're always available for prayer, either online request in the lobby, or after the service to meet with practitioners to pray. And this usually starts our sacred time of the service, and we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to, I'm going to go ahead and have a prayer now to open us up, and then Bodhi's going to step in and do an extended time where you can get a sense of his music and allow yourself to be go into a meditative, contemplative time with his music. So let's just close our eyes and go within and open up to the divine that is always present, that is always here right with us. As we just breathe this in through our heart center and open up to this knowingness of the oneness of all things. Everybody in this room, everybody in the world, all life is one. As we're grateful for this time we have together, we know that Spirit is present with us in the music and the message and through all people today, and we just open up knowing that Spirit is moving through us as us, and we're so grateful for this as we move into this time of meditation. Just take a breath in and just breathe that in. Bringing that peace and that joy into the service. Thank you, Bodhi. That was beautiful. Not yet. During this month, we invite people to share with the community because I want you just to get a sense of different things that are going on in people's lives and how they're applying it in spiritual principles in their lives. So I'd like to invite Lori Hart up. So Lori, I just wanted to, you're an entrepreneur. You have your own business, and sometimes that's more challenging. There's times that requires courage. And when you moved here, what, 8 years ago? 7 years ago? Okay. I know we had conversations, and you were starting all over in your landscape business, your landscape architecture, and you had done a lot of work for other people that was fantastic, but you didn't know anybody here. And so that took a lot of courage. And so I've seen you walk through using spiritual principles to build your business. So anything you want to talk about.
Thank you. Okay, is that good, Michelle? Okay. I have some notes just because it's a little nerve-wracking, but thank you for inviting me, Reverend Jay, and the way my business has unfolded and evolved here is sort of a story of kind of some of the spiritual principles that we study and take to heart, like visioning and clarity of the vision and belief and trusting that it'll take place, and then letting go and having gratitude. So that sort of frames some of it, but just to give you a little background, I was practicing for about 25 years as a landscape designer in the Pacific Northwest, where I was raising my kids. And when I graduated from high school, I took a road trip with some girlfriends, and we drove out west and came to San Francisco. And at that point, I was like, I'm going to live here someday in California. Well, it took me many decades, but I finally managed to do that. And I think having that burning desire in me that just kept holding was an indicator of something that was a true, like, calling inside of me of where I needed to be. Spaces and environments play a big role in the work that I do, obviously, and I felt like that would influence the happiness of my life to be where I wanted to be. So when my youngest went off to college, I got in the car and drove myself here, sort of a shortened version of that. But it wasn't all really rosy. It was, I was quite ill at the time, and I was broke, and I just kept going. And in the meantime, for a few decades there, I had been studying other things that I was curious about, like why spaces affected me the way they did, like why some spaces could be so uplifting and others so despairing. And so I studied feng shui, and I started studying space clearing and energy work. And I did a deep dive into some Chinese medicine and astrology, including Chinese face reading. And so that was my idea when I got myself to Napa, is I was going to pivot my career to do like counseling and energy work with people's homes or businesses. And so I was giving a talk in a Napa women's group here in Napa about Chinese face reading, and people were fascinated about it. I'm looking at you, Susanna. But one of the people there happened to be my first client in landscape design here in Napa. And, you know, it wasn't really what I had envisioned myself doing, but I got so excited by her project. She was doing a huge renovation up on Montecito Boulevard of just this beautiful landscape, and I was excited by her big boulders and rocks, and she was like, well, maybe you're the right designer for me, because I have no idea if I should bulldoze them out of there. So I launched into that job, but I was still questioning whether I was on the right path, because I had moved away from my family. I, you know, had to figure out I had to figure out soil differences from the Pacific Northwest, the plant palette, the water requirements, all these California rules and regs. And I didn't know anybody, so I had to meet all new vendors and develop a network. Grew and grew, and I kept getting referral business. And we had, you know, the fires here, and people wanted to rebuild from that. And so that got me busy right away. But then COVID hit, and everything shut down, as we all know. My clients, many of them just canceled midway through, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And so I started like puttering around here in the garden, and there was nobody here, and nobody really cared what I was doing. I think everybody was sort of appreciative if I was pulling out dead plants or moving things around or kind of playing with ideas. And what I saw through my designer's eyes and my feeling of the space was the opportunity that was here to create something beautiful in the courtyard. So because I'm fidgety and get bored fast, I just started drawing plans. And Reverend Jay liked a lot of those ideas. I'd start talk to the board members. We had these visioning meetings, and it was kind of like what I do in my practice with clients too. So it was like getting excited about a vision and then getting collaboration from people and getting more clarity and honing in and deciding what it is that you want to create. That was my driving force. So one thing that I always say to clients on their questionnaire is, like, the first question is, what would you love? And I think that's a question all of us can answer for ourselves about all parts of our lives, you know? And I think a lot of us just sort of go through life and don't really focus on, like, is this authentically what I really want to be doing? Is this really my best path? And am I really contributing what I really am meant to be here for? So I'm not reading my notes, but anyway, that's okay. So that, like, the clarity, the visioning, the cooperation, and then letting go, and the gratitude practice of knowing how many people it takes to get something accomplished is sort of a driving force of, I think, how I use spiritual principles in my business. So, yeah.
Well, and also love how, just like here and other places, I'm sure you allow things to unfold. You don't like have this plan that you come in, okay, I'm going to do this, and it's done. You allow spirit. You leave room for spirit.
Absolutely, because that's the inspiring part. And I also allow clients, so let's say it's a husband and wife, I allow them to each have a voice in it too, so that it's not my vision really, I'm trying to help them create their vision, so everybody gets a chance to participate.
Right,
Yeah.
great. Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Lori. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, more music from Bodhi.
Wow, that's great. I love landscaping. It's one of my favorite things to do on my land. It's like it's my canvas of creativity. And, I've been sculpting it for the last 35 years, and it's starting to take shape. So we can choose our reality. We can choose our reality. We can choose our life. We can choose to love one another. We can choose the light. We can choose to see what we want to see. We can let it go. We can choose to let ourselves be more than what we've known. Standing here with our open heart, dancing with the wind. Each of us choosing our own part. Let the play begin. We can heal our relationships. We can heal our life. We can heal the bitter pain that rips the world with strife. We can heal the gender war. We can heal our children's world. We can heal the angry nations as the peace flag is unfurled. Standing here with our open heart, dancing with the wind. Each of us choosing our own part. Let the play begin. We can choose the shadow world and hide behind the night. We can build a wall of fright, never let love through. Sometimes we choose to die inside, to close our eyes and deny what's right. We can choose our inner light. The choice is up to me and you. What do you think? Can we do it? Standing here with our open heart, dancing with the wind. Each of us choosing our own part. Let the play begin. We can choose our own part. We can choose our part in the fantasy. We can choose to open our hearts. We can choose our own reality. We can choose our own part. We can choose our part in the fantasy, and we can choose to open our hearts. We can choose our own reality, our own reality. The choice is up to me and you. Up to me and you. To awaken the sleeping dream that's inside of us. Can you sing that with me? To awaken the sleeping dream that's inside of us. To awaken the sleeping dream that's inside of us. To awaken the sleeping dream that's inside of us. Here we go. Thank you, thank you. I always love Jay's themes. It always inspires me to come up with something.
Thanks, Bodhi. It's true. Today we're talking about a greater yet to be, and it's this idea that our lives may be good now, and if we're intentional, we open our hearts, we allow it to unfold, it can even be greater than it is now. Do we know what that greater yet to be is? No. That would take the fun out of it. And perhaps we would get in the way if we knew what it was anyway. We'd expect it or a certain way. And just to allow the mystery of it to come forth, this greater yet to be. There are possibilities we don't know. And we're also talking about this greater yet to be. It's not only us individually, but us as a community, the greater yet to be that's coming. We've been here over 60 years as a study group, as much as 70 years ago, and we're still evolving, we're still creating, we're still allowing our greater yet to be. If we are intentional, mindful, and open to this unfoldment. Lori, thank you so much for you're a great example of allowing this unfoldment to happen. That, we can get in our head and we can worry and we can be in fear. And I'm sure you had moments. I know I have moments. But if we just recognize that, are mindful of that, and let go of the influence on that, but if we don't, then we're trapping ourselves in what our existence is now. We're not evolving. And we did. And what's interesting about that is the vision we had, we did the work of the vision first, and we had this idea, and then suddenly Mary and I find this envelope in our mailbox for $60,000 that we don't know who this woman is. Her name is Mary Wood, not Mary Ward, but Mary Wood. And we tried to contact her and reach out to her and thank her, and she hasn't responded in any way. But she must be an independent philanthropist, is my guess. But the point is, without trying to figure it in our head, it happened because we had the vision, and it came because we were ready for it. And that's the truth. We're continuing to open up to that individually and as a community, what that is. Derek Rydell, we did a whole class on his book called Emergence because I think he's such a powerful writer. And I loved what he has to say about vision. He goes, a vision without a plan is fantasy, right? Gotta have a plan. But he also goes on to say a plan without a vision is mediocrity. Just medium, just kind of keeping things the same way it is. Believing God will do it for us is magical thinking. Like the person on the roof waiting to be rescued, right? When the flood waters are coming up and helicopters and boats come help him, and then he thinks God's not helping him. But God works through us as us. He goes on to say, believing you can do it yourself is the ultimate arrogance. Here's what he said. This is so important. Plan your life as if you're doing the work, and live your life as if God is. Let me repeat that. Plan your life as if you're doing the work, and live your life as if God is moving through you, creating, inspiring. So we're not sitting around in our easy lounge chair waiting for God to show up. We're moving out in the world and knowing that God is unfolding through us. We don't need to wait for some magic, some huge inspiration. We allow a vision to come through, but it's a working vision also. We allow it to open it up in greater ways. There are countless instances in people's lives I've heard, and in my own, that when we've been able to let go of the fear and just allow things to unfold, new opportunities arise unexpectedly, relationships heal over time, health improves, solutions to problems present themselves, because we know Spirit is always, 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 always present with us as we walk in this world, as we open up. And we know that when we're willing to be open, opportunities arise, things dissolve that we thought were obstacles. Wayne Dyer says that if you believe it'll work out, you'll see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you'll see obstacles. That's not, and you can say we're making things up, but we're not. It's true. I have seen obstacles literally dissolve. Where I thought I would never get past them, I go, okay, God, show me the way. And they weren't obstacles anymore. They were leaping off points, jumping off points for me. Albert Einstein, I also like to quote him. He said, there's only two ways to live your life. One is as if nothing is a miracle. The other is through everything is a miracle. I prefer the second way, to see everything as a miracle. But I will say, as much as I appreciate his work, there is a third way. And the third way is the way often I'm doing it, which is inconsistently believing it's a miracle and not a miracle. Even in the same situation, I can have my doubts. Think of the little train that could, right? I think I can. There are times I go, I know I can. I've got this. I was built for this. Spirit in me is moving up the other way. But then sometimes things take longer than I thought. They're not moving in the time frame I thought. It didn't show up the way I thought, so I begin to doubt myself. And I go, well, maybe I can't. Maybe this is not mine to do. And what I know is that Spirit will let me know when it's time to change. I don't need to overthink it. Spirit's guiding me. And so, okay, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to let this catch up with me. This Spirit moving through me, it's going to be back. I'm just having a lull. And I just continue to do that. Einstein also said the world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. Right? It cannot change without changing our thinking. Yeah, that's not so much. Sort of like Ernest Holmes, right? Change your thinking, change your life. But here's the important part, what he had to say. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Which means sometimes when we expect change to happen, maybe it doesn't come because we don't have the consciousness, the mental equivalent, the spiritual prototype to allow it to come forth, that we need to advance to have that higher consciousness to allow it to create anew. And that's okay, because that's the way we grow. Because there's this weird thing about spirituality where we want it all at the same time, but as we it's like as we grow and develop, we're also increasing our consciousness, which is the whole point of things anyway. It's not the thing that we're trying to get anyway. It's raising our consciousness to a greater way. And it's almost like that which we're seeking is no longer important. I mean, to have health, to have wonderful relationships, to have a beautiful place to live and be, yes, those are all important. And yet it is the consciousness where we are that creates that, and is the consciousness that really moves us into a greater way. So if we believe the Spirit is always evolving through us, how would our life change? How would you go about things differently? Perhaps you know that now. Now, like I said, there's that third way that sometimes we believe life is a miracle, sometimes we don't. And we can always find things in our lives that remind us of the power of Spirit in many ways. And we can lean on that. We can be reminders. It could be friends. It could be things we hear, things we read, or just in life itself. So today, I wanted to give you 5 ways. And in terms of our belief, sometimes the whys are more important than the whats. Mystics of the world laugh at people who argue about what they believe and what is right and wrong, because there's only one. That's all there is. And the one, when we find the one, that's the why. That's the why we know that things are going to unfold in perfect ways. So the first one is, and after our prayers, after our affirmative prayers, we always say, and so it is, or amen. And amen in Aramaic, the language of Jesus, meant so be it. So it's the same sort of thing, and so it is. And so it is a confidence that we know Spirit is working in our lives. We know it's already true. So we believe, and so it is, because the proof is in the pudding. Now that little phrase actually meant, the original phrase was, the proof is when you eat the pudding, basically. You know, you can taste whether you made it right or not, whether it's good or not. But also the proof of the pudding is in our living and in the experiences we have. We know that the spiritual world is unseen, and yet we can measure its effect on us and on the world. In science, there are fossil gaps. So the fossil records, there are gaps in fossil records that don't show that evolution is the only reason why our life is the way it is today, where it has evolved. And for me, the difference is spirit. There was an intention there. There was a miracle. There was a quantum leap, if you want to call it that. So science is not everything. The X factor is always spirit and the way it moves in our lives. Research that's done on prayer suggests that prayer works, first of all. And it's very clear, the evidence is it works best. The people that are doing the prayer always experience transformation. And also the people who think they're being prayed for, interesting enough whether they're actually being prayed for or not, the people who think they're being prayed for, transformation, changes in health, changes in relationship happen. Because it's this openness to spirit that's there. It's not because prayer doesn't work that it works on somebody who's not being prayed for, but they think they are. It's because they have that sense of God is present with them and moving in their lives. So let's do our prayers for others, and let's at least let people tell us they're praying for us, even if they're not, right? Be good if they were, though. How about the practitioners and I will pray for you, and you pray for us? Is that a deal? Good. There are other theories in quantum physics, superposition, where matter can exist in different states, but it's when somebody observes it, somebody has intention, that it shifts. Our intentions make a difference. Non-locality, that there's a quantum entanglement. When things are connected and one, then they continue to influence each other. They continue to have an effect on each other. Whether it's people in a movie theater that begin to breathe at the same time, having heart rates at the same time, or whether it's in our prayer work we connect with the person we're praying for in oneness, so we know what we know for them is true for them also. I also know that the second reason, and so it is because living intentionally, mindfulness creates shifts in our lives. We can experience that, and spiritual living in that way. We just completed a class on affirmative prayer, and it was really, first of all, it's a great class. I'll teach it again because it was really a great class. But what was interesting is in the process of the class, people were sharing. Part of the affirmative prayer is to let go and let God. To know the truth and to let go and let God. And they said that was the hardest part of the prayer, to surrender. And I can relate to that, right? To trust to that. But what they found is when they did do that, they found the answers. They found what they were looking for when they were able to let go. But it doesn't work for us to get an assurance, I'll let go, I'll surrender when I know it's going to happen. I'll surrender when I have time to, when there's not this situation going on, when it's not raining outside, when it's not this, it's not that, your conditional surrender doesn't work. You surrender first, and you experience that deeper sense of spirit which moves in your life and creates. We are a belief that is the East and the West, Eastern philosophy and Western religion integrated together. So we take from the Eastern, the inner awareness and inner oneness and meditation and mindfulness. But what's interesting about the Eastern traditions is that the solitary practices versus the Western, both Judaism and Christian, is about being out in the world, compassionate action, community, inviting people. Now, I recognize that some of the missionary work and evangelical work has strings attached. But the work we do is no strings attached. We're out in the world doing this love, and we're also a sense of this contemplation. And with that integration, it's a path of liberation, a path of freedom, of inner wisdom and contemplation. We know that all the great masters, Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, Abraham, Confucius, they all spoke about this contemplative life that was important. Ernest Holmes says, that which distinguishes the new thought from the old is not a denial of the divine reality, but an affirmation of its immediate availability. And so we know that Spirit is right here with us right now. So, as I mentioned, there are certain people we can listen to, believe in, helps us understand things, reminds us of things. But we need to find that our own faith and our own truth within us, our own inner contemplation, our own self-reliance. It's interesting, a few years ago, there was a woman, her name is Doreen Virtue, who did a lot of angel work. And she switched her belief system to be more Christian. And people were freaking out. But I also know Rob Bell, who was a fundamental Christian, moved to more universal. And his believers were all freaking out about that, you know. I know when I was my first spiritual teacher was a wounded man. He hadn't done his whole healing inside. And I was so in love with this teaching, with meditation and affirmative prayer. And then suddenly I realized he's wounding me. He's traumatizing me with his trauma. And so I walked away from that because I was very confused. I came back to it, and what I found is in me a stronger reality of the truth within me, that I didn't depend on him. I was young 20s, and I had grown a dependence on him, and that wasn't healthy. That's not healthy. We need to find our own self-reliance. Now, we can still use people, and one of the people I rely on is Michael Beckwith. I think he's an incredible minister, an incredible teacher. I know at Mile High Church, I ran into him. It's so big that they have a backstage area. And I knew he was there for a speaking engagement, but I was at this center, I'm a doing and being. There I was a mostly doing minister. So I was backstage doing my doing and walking past some people that were standing around, and suddenly this energy whoa, what just it? And then I look, and there's Michael Beckwith standing there. And I just went by, and he, very powerful energy and just really good teaching. So I wanted to bring him into the room today to talk about his inner life, and it's kind of a funny story he has here.
Be up there meditating. So one day I'm outside meditating, and a scroll rolls down in front of me, and it says Michael Beckwith to speak at this spiritual center in Tacoma, Washington. And then it rolled up and disappeared. So I thought that was kind of cute, so I wrote about it in my journal and continued to meditate. So when I get home, this guy named Bill calls me, and he says, "We want you to come speak at our church. We don't have a minister." And I said, "I know, I saw the scroll." And he said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Nothing. Nothing. I didn't mean to say that." Extremely nervous. I mean, I was going to call him back and tell him I had the flu that day, that I would not be able to make it. Anyway, subsequently, I was laying on my couch, and I left my body, and I was flying. And I could see Michael laying on the couch, and Michael was really nervous. And next moment, I'm in the body, and I'm nervous. How am I going to get out of this? And then I'm flying, and I look back. I said, "That Michael, doesn't he understand yet that?" As soon as I said the word "that," I was back in the body again, nervous.
I love this story because here he is, he's being in that third mode, right? He's scared, he's nervous. He had never spoken before at any center, wasn't a public speaker, and he was all nervous, and yet his higher self that was out of the body said, oh, that Michael, doesn't even know. And that's the spirit part of us that reminds us how powerful we are, how amazing we are, that we are, when we say yes, the universe responds. And so the third one, and so it is because of what I kind of joke about our past lives. I'm not talking about the lives that we had before this. I don't even know if a reincarnation happens. I'm talking about the life we lived before this moment, in this life. And the things that we have come through with brought us here. And that's a confidence builder. This week is Halloween, but it's also the Mexican celebration of the Day of the Dead. So we honor our ancestors that brought us here as well. And we're going to have a chance in our healing circle to remember that if you come on Saturday. But this is this idea that just opens up. And the fourth one is that visioning works. That Spirit is this vision with us. And here's another clip from Michael Beckwith talking about visioning.
Another time I had it in a dream. I was walking down the street. I was really small in the dream. And this building, people were coming out with everybody, all the demographics. Everybody was in there. They were singing and praying. And the voice said, this is what we want you to do. And I said, but in the dream I'm really small. And I said, how am I going to do that? And they said, you say yes and we'll do the rest.
You say yes, we'll do the rest. You say yes, we'll do the rest. I also like that it was plural. It wasn't like you say yes and I'll do the rest. It's will, meaning the universe is plural, and it will support us when we say yes. And we know this visioning process. That's why I'm inviting people to come back into the visioning team, because I think it's time for us to do a vision as a community. So you'll hear more about that. And the final one is, so it is because of this experience within us that knows that there's a mental equivalent, as Ernest Holmes Troward, another New Age teacher, New Thought teacher, called it a spiritual prototype. Whatever that is, I kind of call it a heart equivalent. What we know within becomes our reality on the outside. And so Michael Beckwith, this final video I have of him, talks about how he had this, how he, he's supposed to do this center, later became, he has hundreds of thousands of followers now, but this is in the very beginning and how he began.
So I began a vision group in my living room. We met every Thursday night to become the vibration of a community that we wanted to build. We didn't start linearly with business plans and any of that. We wanted to be internally the frequency of unconditional love and peace, and then let the rest happen, rather than, let's go do a business plan, let's do all that nonsense first. It's like, no, that's second. You have to be the person first. So I led this vision group, and in November the 30th, 1986, I had my first public service.
So the idea that we be that which we're seeking first, whether individually and as a community, we are being this first, and then it radiates and creates that which we are being in consciousness. We let it unfold. And just like we had the vision for the courtyard and new visions coming forth about a new building we're talking about, that's right outside our offices. It's just in the first stage. Lori's drawn even one where it has a second story on top. We're just in the idea stage right now. But we know when we have the vision, guess what's going to come? The way to create it. Because we know that's the way Spirit works. But we need to be this. And the idea of this area is it's going to be a more of a center place for things like yoga and when it's raining, a place to have fellowship, and a place to be where we don't have to pull the chairs to the side all the time to create things. But that's expansion, what many churches would call a fellowship hall. So be part of the vision team, or listen to when we come back with ideas and be a part of that. And it will unfold in the right and perfect way. And we can trust that here in this community, and we can trust it in our own lives. Let's go to prayer. What I know in this moment is God is good. And the God in us continues to evolve and move, and the greater yet to be is coming forth. So I just, in this moment, know the truth of each of us, that Spirit is moving in and through us, creating this greater yet to be. And we can just trust that and celebrate it and know it is so. And in these words we say after the prayers, and so it is, let's say it together. And so it is. Amen.
I love that idea of praying for each other. So I think we can call it Pray It Forward. Light of God's wisdom shining within me, guidance from that place inside is like a beacon on the sea, advice from the world outside sometimes lead me astray, choosing to follow the light of God, always find my way. In the light of God, in the light of God, in the light of God. Whoa. The joy of God's presence glowing in my soul, the peace of this warmth inside is worth its weight in gold. Fear from the world outside can sometimes confuse my mind, choosing to feel the joy of God. I'm back on course in time. In the light of God, sing with me. In the light of God, in the light of God, oh, oh. In the light of God, in the light of God, in the light of God, whoa, whoa. The light of God's wisdom shining within me, guidance from that place inside is like a beacon on the sea, advice from the world outside sometimes lead me astray, choosing to follow the light of God, I always find my way. In the light of God, in the light of God, in the light of God, whoa, whoa. In the light of God, in the light of God, in the light of God, whoa, whoa.
Thank you, Bodhi. This is the time in our service we invite you to be part of our law of circulation. We know that which you give continues to come back to you in multiple ways. If our ushers could come forward, please. There are many ways to give. We appreciate your support of our vision and mission and our unfolding good, our greater yet to be. So thank you for being a part of that. We know that out of these many ways to give, you might have already given to our center. So we just take your hand and put it over your heart to represent that which you've given in the past or that which you're giving today. And repeat with the affirmation on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
Is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm a talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used. I give myself to be used. I give myself to be used by you. Oh, it's in me. That's right. It's not up there. See?
We want to take time to welcome you who are here for the first time, to honor you officially. We have a gift for you. If you're willing to raise your hand, we can give you a brochure about us and more information about us. Anybody here for the first time? Guess not today. We appreciate new people always coming in, and it's a good time to invite friends. These brochures are something you can take with you if you want to give them to someone, or invite people to different events. And also online there, we welcome you who might be here for the first time as well. We always appreciate your being a part of our service. Thank you. Many blessings. And if you want to put your name in the chat so we know who you are, that would be great. Many blessings. So we can do the blessing for all of us if we raise our hands. And for those people online, if you're new, we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. Awesome. Let's, and the practitioners, if you could come forward, please. Bodhi has requested today if someone comes to you for prayer to go in the back so he can begin setting up here. So thank you. So please know the practitioners are here after the service. It's not raining outside yet, so we do get to go out and have fellowship. There's food in the kitchen, but we can bring it out. But if you want to stay for prayer, please do so. And we'll create sacredness in this sanctuary. And sacredness as Bodhi sets up. So that's great.
Sacred setup, yeah.
Sacred setup, that's great. Let's all stand for the congregational affirmation. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
And so it is.
I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside. love wakes up and peace is every step. Oh, and peace is every step. Oh, and peace is every step. Woo!
Let's go forward in our greater yet to be.